Jake Paul's California mansion has been raided by the FBI, multiple news organizations report. You can see in this aerial footage agents in uniform outside his home in Calabasas.
You know what's funny about your brother? Your brother talks more shit than anybody else on the planet. They're trying to sue people when people talk shit. There's people out there saying they're fake fights, they're fixed.
You know, for me, in my opinion, I think it's scripted a little bit because, you know, of the weight difference, and, you know, Joshua's a former, you know, champion. And also, you know, he's current, he's active.
That was not a boxing match. Jake Paul had a very healthy fear for his life while he was in there. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this contest. Then he's trying to get out of the way.
Once again, Jake Paul finds himself caught in a storm that could signal the end of the controversial YouTuber turned boxer's career. New accusations claim Paul allegedly scripted his high-profile fights, including the blockbuster Netflix bout against Anthony Joshua, have erupted online, with some parts of social media even suggesting he and his brother reportedly faced arrest over these alleged plans. While promoters and officials have strongly denied that professional fights can be prearranged without legal consequences, doubts about Paul's legitimacy inside the ring have reached an all-time high. It's a dramatic turn for a figure whose past legal troubles already include an FBI raid on his Calabasas mansion. Now, as accusations spread and his boxing credibility is questioned more than ever before, many are wondering, could this really be the end of Jake Paul's meteoric rise?
Agents have raided the Southern California home of YouTube star Jake Paul. Federal officials say the search was part of an investigation. Wendy Burge is in Calabasas with what we're learning tonight.
Sky 5 was overhead this morning as federal agents entered Jake Paul's Calabasas home located in this gated community off of Mulholland Highway. We counted close to 24 federal agents, some of them in tactical gear, entering the residence. Why they were here and what they were looking for, that remains unclear. The federal search warrant has been sealed and no one is on.
Several boxing analysts, former fighters, and promoters have challenged the credibility of Jake Paul's fights for years, even before the recent arrest rumors appeared. From carefully chosen opponents past their peak to unusual fight pacing, late knockdowns, and contracts rumored to include strict clauses, critics argue that Paul's rise has felt more constructed than genuinely earned.
I'm curious about this because, like, you know, you saw the Askren fight, we saw these fights that he went into. The Fury one obviously didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go, just because I was so convinced that, like, Jake had these fights fixed, and there's a lot of people who talk about the fights being fixed because it's just the way it is.
Yeah, they tell me that too. They're like, tell me you're not going to take a fall against Paul. Everybody says that to me. I'm like, are you kidding me? You could have paid me all the money in the world.
Veteran voices in boxing have consistently highlighted that while Paul brings huge attention and money to the sport, his matchups often avoid real competitive risk, increasing suspicions that outcomes are arranged to protect the brand rather than truly test skill. As these doubts continue to grow, each new controversy doesn't stand alone. Instead, it strengthens a rising narrative that Jake Paul's boxing journey has been built on image, influence, and control rather than the unpredictable intensity that defines the sport.
What happened to me is what was going to happen to him had he dropped those hands. If I say, Rampage, I'm going to pay you $2 million, right? That this dude beats you, what you going to do? You're going to feel disrespected, number one. Right? That ain't enough money. For me to do that, I got to be willing to walk away for good. Something like 20-some million where I can invest in it.
Previously, the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul gained attention for its intensity and drama. Rumors of a leaked script suggesting the Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson fight was prearranged triggered a frenzy online. Alleged audio recordings surfaced to support claims that the fight's dramatic moments, including Tyson's supposed exhaustion leading to Paul's knockout victory, were staged.
In the United States is $1.3 million. Again, that's over the course of the person's entire life. Jake Paul earned 30 times that in one night. People talk about winners and losers, like Jake Paul.
Following his win over Mike Tyson, Jake Paul shared his thoughts on his performance in the ring. Speaking confidently about the fight, Paul stated, "I didn't get much punched or hurt." This comment highlighted his belief that he had controlled the match with minimal resistance. Many of Paul's fans praised his remarks, seeing them as proof of his ability and readiness to face even legendary opponents. However, Critics were quick to point out the lack of intensity and danger in the fight, arguing that Tyson's performance felt underwhelming and questioning whether the bout was truly fair.
Big as a Superman.
Big as the what?
Why was Mike wearing assless chaps though in the...
Yeah, did that moment go viral with his cheeks out?
I don't know. It made my stomach hurt.
I was seeing it. Why didn't he have underwear on?
He had a G-string on, is what he had.
I thought he was completely butt naked.
Nah, he looked like a stripper.
But yeah, biggest live gate, 18.1 millions in U.S. boxing history outside of Las Vegas. A phenomenal night. I'm sorry I didn't knock him out though, guys.
Shut the fuck up. It was crazy when we talked about this. I told him you were going to say some dumb shit. You did the right thing at the end.
The fight against Anthony Joshua is no different. Many commentators have described the matchup as unusual, pointing out the clear difference in experience, size, and pedigree between Paul and Joshua, with some calling the event more entertainment than sport. A YouTuber turned boxer with a 12-1 record stepping into the ring with a former two-time world heavyweight champion who has faced elite competition throughout his career. Many commentators have described the pairing as uneven, with Paul viewed by some as a financial draw rather than a serious challenge, further fueling speculation that the event is more spectacle than sport.
Jake Paul, fake Paul I call him, against Anthony Joshua. Massive unit, two-time world champ, still got a big punch. I think he's mentally fragile at world level if he goes against the big guns because of the knockout, especially the Dubois knockout when he got fucking splattered. You know what I mean? In round 5 and he got hurt early on and then he got done. And he's not been in the ring for 13 months.
Yeah.
But can you see a world in which Jake Paul is competitive in this fight?
No.
No. How do you see the fight going if AJ takes it serious?
They'll be over.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul is entering this fight with a level of confidence that has surprised even experienced observers. In recent commentary, it has been noted that he shows strong belief in his ability to meet the challenge and secure victory. Unlike some of his earlier matchups, Paul is approaching this fight with sharp focus and determination. Analysts studying his preparation emphasize that his mindset is crucial and his confidence reflects a mix of physical readiness and mental strength. This approach suggests that he is not underestimating the significance of facing a former heavyweight champion, but is instead embracing it as an opportunity to prove himself on the global stage.
He's very big. I'm here to shock the world, inspire the next generation. We're in the Heat arena. I'm a big Heat fan. Miami's on fire. This is my first pro fight, was in Miami against Gibb. I'm bringing that same energy here.
Jake Paul's growing confidence in boxing has raised doubts among many experienced analysts. Critics argue that Paul's belief in his ability to challenge a fighter like Anthony Joshua is unrealistic. Joshua, a highly accomplished and experienced heavyweight, has years of training, numerous title fights, and proven endurance that Paul has yet to encounter. Observers suggest that Paul's physique and performances indicate he may rely on speed or external enhancements.
Natural? No. I can say that with pretty certain confidence in that statement, mainly because, as you heard me mention, I know a lot of the people he trains with and I have heard things. Now let's give Jake the benefit of the doubt, right? He's able to restrain from the peer pressure that everyone's putting on him to hop on these certain compounds. Then that would be cool, to train natural, do what he needs to do. But the thing is, his body composition has changed so much, his explosiveness, his power, and yes, that comes with training and time. But I find it very, very suspicious that for some reason, whenever a drug test gets brought up, for instance, when Fury wanted that in the contract, Jake Paul turns them down. So you should think to yourself, it's probably because he's not natural. Now I want to make it clear, I don't care whether Jake Paul is natural or not. There's so many people that aren't natural that are in combat sports. In fact, Tyron Woodley probably is also not natural. Everyone wants that little edge over their competition, and that's where drugs and anabolics come into play. There's certain compounds that are out there that just increase your explosiveness immensely, your recovery, so that you can stay in the same weight class, which is very important for combat sports, whether that's boxing, UFC, whatever type of combat sport you're doing. So that is why you guys have seen so much improvement from Jake Paul. Of course, he has a great circle around him, great trainers, great coaches, a great regimen, but definitely anabolics play a very fundamental role in that. They allow him to train as hard as he does. They allow him to increase his power and speed. And of course, when you think of those concepts, that's essentially the recipe. Despite all the controversies, people are placing real money on this fight.
And the betting activity itself has become part of the controversy surrounding the Paul vs. Joshua event. Fans, casual bettors, and even some well-known personalities have been actively wagering on outcomes, adding fuel to the ongoing debate about whether the matchup is a genuine sporting contest or simply a spectacle.
So do you think it's going to be real, this fight? Do you think it's actually... So you think that Jake Paul...
You couldn't fake it. You really think Anthony Joshua's going to put his whole livelihood on the line for Jake Paul?
No, I don't think he would.
So there you go. It's over when he wants it to be over.
There could be some kind of tacit agreement in the background.
How?
Where they have a handshake.
Then that's illegal. You're going to jail.
Exactly, it's illegal. That's what I was going to say.
So you can't.
Because it's not an exhibition.
No, it's a fight.
So
and people are betting on it. Big amounts of money.
So we're watching this. I'm flying out there next week to Miami to watch it. So I'm going out there. He's laughing. I'm getting some on. So it's all good. But it's like Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua, 6 foot. What's he? 6'6".
How about that?
Fucking, what's he? 16. What's 245 pounds?
He can't be a pound over 245.
What's
so
that in stone?
The best part, just on 17 stone or just under.
So Jake lost to Tommy Fury, and that's the one everyone keeps. Do you think he's improved much since Tommy Fury?
Yeah, but do I think he's improved enough to be competitive? Unless I close my eyes and Josh is completely shot to bits. No.
Yeah, so is the potential that Jake Paul, like, I know you keep saying no, I know you're right, but is there a world in which you see Jake Paul?
As rumors of a leaked script spread, fighters who faced Jake Paul experienced backlash, with some accusing him of damaging his legacy. Fans speculated that Tyson compromised himself for Paul, affecting his historic career by taking part in a fight many viewed as staged.
Was fully leaked all the way down to the bow Jake did in round 8. This profile on X posted it anonymously one day before the fight, explaining everything before deleting it today. A fake script has been going around that said Mike Tyson will get KO'd in round 5, but that one was clearly not real or an older script. This will give you goosebumps. I'm just going to read you parts, but if you want to see the full script, I'll show you it at the end. Round 1, opening bell rings and Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, but slower than his prime. Round 2, Tyson comes alive, but his breathing grows heavier. Round 3, Paul gains confidence and lands a sharp right that stuns Tyson. That's exactly what happened. Then round 4 and 5, the fatigue sets in strong for Tyson and Jake is landing a bunch of hits. Round 6, Jake showboats, which is the tongue thing he did here. Then on round 7, Jake plays the safe to not KO Mike. And round 8 wins by decision and bows at the end. This is crazy. Subscribe if you want to read it yourself.
Observers reported unusual interactions during Jake Paul's matches, such as Tyson allegedly whispering advice to Paul and referees appearing to signal Paul to avoid certain actions. These moments increased suspicions of scripting and staged choreography. Matchroom Boxing CEO has publicly denied that the Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua fight is scripted or fixed. Hearn has emphasized that if the bout takes place, it will be a legitimate professional fight under Queensberry rules and not an exhibition or pre-written show, directly rejecting scripting claims.
100% scripted. Mike Tyson repeatedly bit his boxing gloves throughout the fight. When fights are scripted, fighters do weird gestures to signal that they're hurt. It's very possible Mike Tyson was biting on his glove to tell Jake Paul to calm down. Now, if that's not enough proof that this fight was scripted, in the middle of the fight, Mike Tyson is literally talking to Jake Paul while they are clinching. And in the middle of the fight, the referee told Jake Paul to stop measuring. For those of you who don't know, in boxing terms, measuring means that you're setting up for a knockout by seeing how far your opponent is with jab. The referee literally told Jake Paul to stop measuring, and before the fight, we see Mike Tyson and Jake Paul whispering stuff to each other. Mike Tyson biting on his glove, whispering secrets to Jake Paul in the middle of the fight, and the referee literally telling Jake Paul to stop measuring during the fight. That should be
Frank Smith has created fresh debate around the Anthony Joshua vs. Jake Paul fight, warning that the event is less about sport and more about showmanship. He argued that rather than a true boxing contest, the bout will be a spectacle designed for entertainment, not a serious test of skill. Smith suggested that what fans are seeing is built to sell and shock rather than maintain boxing's competitive integrity. By describing it as serious entertainment, he raised questions about how authentic or competitive the fight will actually be. Smith also mentioned he remains hopeful that a Fury-Joshua showdown could happen. He described the bout as the biggest fight to make, expressing optimism that by 2026, the mega clash will finally take place. At the same time, Smith warned that boxing often involves talk and that not all planned fights come together, implying that while the idea excites fans, many logistical and contractual challenges still exist.
Anthony is ruining his legacy just by taking this fight. Fans don't respect what he's done in the sport already. He's an Olympic gold medalist, two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. I sort of sympathize with him because I feel like if he doesn't beat him quicker than he beat Francis, people are just going to write it off. I'll ask you bluntly, have there been any discussions about there's an agreement, there's a secret contract? Have any of those discussions happened regarding this fight? It's an 8-round professional fight. AJ wouldn't have taken it if that was the stance it had to be, if it was an exhibition, if it was you've got to hold him up for 8 rounds. It wouldn't suit Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is going in there to...
Sorry, just to silence all the doubters here. You know, a lot of people saying this can't be real. You know, Anthony Joshua going in there, it must be an exhibition, or Anthony Joshua's going to it's going to be choreographed and Anthony's going to carry him through a couple of rounds. I know Anthony Joshua. Just to silence all those doubters, he's going to go in there to do a job, right?
It's 100% real. It's 100% real. People asking why is it 8 rounds, not 10? Because I don't think it goes past the first round. So it's, you know, regardless, it's quite irrelevant. I think he steps across the ring and knocks him out. You know, but we're in for a bit of fun and everyone's going to be tuning in.
It might not be fun for Jake Paul. I mean, it's serious entertainment, is it?
Yeah, 100%. You know, look, I agree with you. I accept Jake Paul is absolutely mental for doing this, and I don't think he quite realises. I think he's got people around him who actually are saying, you know, Anthony Joshua's chinny. He said it in interviews. It's quite wild, but you know, if that's the world he wants to live in, he'll find out on December 19th.
And Frank, to finish with, the plan is still sometime in 2026, AJ against Tyson Fury, and Turki Al-Sheikh's working on that, is he?
That's the fight we want to make. That's the fight we want to see. Look, we're all guilty of doing a lot of talking over the years and that not happening. So I don't want to talk too much, but that is definitely what we want to see in 2026. It's one of the biggest fights in the sport.
Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn, has also directly responded to the scripting accusations, although his remarks have been seen as controversial themselves. Hearn joked that the only script is Joshua's plan to come out and knock Paul out as quickly as possible, a statement he clarified was meant to emphasize the seriousness of the fight and dismiss the idea of predetermined outcomes. At the same time, the need to publicly address and correct these claims shows how strongly the narrative has spread among fans and within media circles.
Obviously scripted, isn't it? I'm like, no. 1, that's illegal. I mean, this is a professional contest. 2, we would never sign up to anything that's going to make AJ look bad or devalue him, lose rounds, go loads of rounds.
Do you think there's any world in which AJ pulls back, though?
Absolutely. He couldn't do that as a fighter. He would be incapable of going in there and holding back. So, I mean, I think the only thing that's a bit harsh is if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him out in the first round, he should be ashamed of himself. Like, fine, give us 2, like, or 3. Because if Jake does move, he can look after himself. It's not like he's just going to